Washington XL 92.5 FM.
All right, today's new drug. You realize it's one of our last days in this building?
It's really, it's starting to sink in.
Oh, I just talked to Griffin about that. I mean, we've been in this thing a long time.
Yep.
We're about to leave this place.
That's right. It's hard to believe.
Our
End of an era.
New digs are sweet.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the new digs?
I have not. I'm a person that I like to see it
live.
when it's operational.
Yeah.
I know it's operational, but you know what I mean. For us, it's when
you want to walk in and go. You want to walk. You don't need.
I want to walk in and be pointed to the microphone.
Yeah. Well, that's what I say. You don't need to see the course.
Talk into this.
Hey, I've always heard you show up and say, "Where's the first tee and what's the course record?"
That's right.
You don't need to. You don't need all those details.
Yeah,
I get it. I like it. So
where's the microphone and what's the highest rated show we've ever had?
Well done. Thursday, all kind of fun stuff to talk about today. The Greg McGarity here today, 2:15. A little bit sad. Our last Lee Smith report till next year.
Yeah, although with the players where it is, it's good because it feels like we start talking to Lee like in late January, so it's not a monumental.
It's only a couple months.
Yeah, and then he'll be back, but he's been fantastic.
He really has.
I mean, what a fantastic! I know the Ryder Cup ended in disappointing fashion, but what an amazing year for the PGA Tour and golf in general. And, I think 26 is going to be even better because I do think eventually you're going to get these live guys, the ones that they want back, like Bryson. I think they'll get him back at some point, and it feels like that's closer to a conclusion. So that's good.
And
that's a good place to be for the sport.
And that'll be the conversation. Excuse me. That'll be the conversation today with Lee is, the Ryder Cup, and let's look ahead to the players the next year. But really recapping a great year of golf. I mean, I agree with you, Hayes. And we've said that regularly, a really good year of golf. And so, excuse me. So we'll certainly talk about that today. And of course, Greg McGarity joins us in about 10 minutes. We'll go ahead and get the.
He's going to have his board.
We'll get confirmed the two teams coming.
Yeah,
he had his board a month ago.
Yeah, it's
a better board now.
It's what Auburn and Georgia Tech. I think he said is the ideal.
I hope Georgia Tech isn't playing their way out of it. My fear is.
Although they looked so shaky last Saturday against Wake that I know Greg made a good point last week. He was like, when you look at Georgia Tech's schedule, 11-1 jumps out at you because obviously they closed with Georgia, but every other game looks very winnable. Well, they easily could have lost to Wake Forest. So, again, I think you're dealing with, in that conference, Miami might be an A+. They might be on a different level. We'll see about Florida State. We'll find out, I think, definitively what Florida State is on Saturday night. After that, those two, I think it's a bunch of C+ to B level teams. I mean, maybe you have a couple teams that are awful, but for the most part, they're all sort of bunched in. Yeah. So could Georgia Tech lose a couple and get to the Gator Bowl? Yeah, I think that could certainly happen after seeing them Saturday.
The challenge with the Gator Bowl on the ACC side, the real challenge is, would you love to have FSU, Miami, Clemson, or Georgia Tech? Yes. They're all close physically. There's an allure and a charm to all those four with our city. It is tough after that. If you get beyond Florida State, Miami, Georgia Tech, and Clemson, I'm not trying to knock. Well, I know we knock the league all the time. That's not my point. There's just not a lot of charm to who you might get. Now, listen, the SEC has some that don't have charm either. We've had Kentucky here. We've had A&M here.
Mississippi State.
We had Ole Miss last year with Kiffin and didn't do very well. They didn't draw. So there wasn't a lot of charm. There's more national charm than local charm in that game. But anyway, we'll see what Greg will lay it out for us when he gets here. All right, injury news for the Jaguars. It's now been reported Travon Walker had surgery in his day-to-day. Isn't that interesting? He had wrist surgery and a serious wrist injury, and he is day-to-day. And so I think best what I've been told and best I can find out is that's a very accurate report. Don't think for a minute he's not. He might play.
Well, that's what Liam said today. Yeah. I mean, now you've got the head coach,
right,
talking about it on the record at a press conference, saying that he had surgery, but he's day to day, and we don't need to see him practice this week for him to play Monday.
Yeah, there's a chance there's a chance he's going to play in that game. He's certainly, Travon. You can say what you want about is Travon not this or not that. If he can play, he's going to play. He's that guy. If there's a handful of guys that you can't keep them out of there unless they absolutely unequivocally cannot play. He is that guy. There's no debating that. So he is. Now a lot of guys are that guy, but he is that.
He's incredibly tough.
Yeah, he really is tough and loves it. And so we'll see. I hope he's able to play, and so we'll see what happens.
What a boost for the team if they find out he's going to be active.
Yeah, because that would be a real injury of significance. I was thinking about this the other day. It looks like they dodged a bullet with him. If he doesn't play this week, you got to believe if he's able to play, if he almost play, even if he doesn't play this week, if he almost plays this week, he's probably going to be back pretty soon. So they dodged a bullet. I'm trying to think of the most significant injuries this team could have. Quarterback's always first because it's the quarterback. So Trevor's always first. And when Trevor got hurt last year, that was curtains. So on any team, the quarterback's first. After that, who are the most significant guys not
Hines,
to
Allen,
lose?
and Walker, to me, are 2A and 2B.
They might be 2 and 3, yeah. They really, on this team, they might be. Now, listen, Jordan Lewis is playing great right now. Foye Aluakin might be the other guy that I've got high on that list. But, yeah, we're splitting hairs here. Those guys are really high on the list. That's the point, is they're really, really high on that list. And so, yeah, that would be it'd be a blow to not have either one of them. And really a boost if they get to have him back. I'm getting excited. Apparently the tickets have really moved this week. If you heard, they've really moved. I think they announced standing room only.
That's right.
And so they've made that announcement. There are some tickets available, probably some secondary market tickets if you want to. But they're going to have a great crowd, and they're still selling them, and they're still selling those standing room tickets. I think we're going to have a party on Monday night. I really do. I think we've gotten.
Can you imagine? If when that clock hits zero, if the Jaguars have won the game, what it is going to be like, not just in the immediate aftermath in the stadium, which will be beyond electric,
right?
But just the Seattle week becomes
absolutely
such a huge week. I mean, it really, there's 60 minutes, and it's going to take 60 minutes of great football, but there's 60 minutes of great football from literally being the talk of the NFL. And getting ready to play a game here against Seattle where, I don't think you have to at that point. I don't think you have to fire up people to go. I think at that point you're not having any issues with people not wanting to watch this team and cheer them on in person.
Here's how I thought it went, and we talked about this. They were expected to win the first game, and they did. The second game, the second game. Joe Burrow got hurt, and when Joe Burrow gets hurt, you think you're going to win, and you didn't. So that wasn't a good loss. That was a bad loss. So now you're 1-1. Okay, so I said this. You have to beat the Texans for it not to look like same old Jaguars. Well, they did. So when you're 2-1, that's not same old Jaguars. So you had to beat the Texans not to be same old Jaguars. You had to beat the 49ers to become relevant. We had that talk. If you become relevant inside a team people have to pay attention to, you had to win the 49ers game. You win the Chiefs game, and you're looked at as one of the good teams.
Yeah, now you're looking at a power poll, and everybody's going to have them in the top 5.
That's right. So you were going to beat the Panthers, and you beat them. Game 2, you lost, so you're kind of back to even. Nobody knows what you are. If you beat the Texans, it's not same old Jaguars. A mission accomplished. If you go beat the 49ers, well, now you're relevant. Now you're someone you have to pay attention to. You go beat the Chiefs, you're looked at as one of the good teams. So that's the ladder. Those are the rungs of the ladder, and they've hit 2 of them. And by the way, if you lose this game, you're still 3-2 with a lot of home games and whatnot. But for now, this is the one that can make people think you're a really good team. So we got a lot to talk about. Travon Walker news, I think, is good news. Greg McGarity joins us in just a moment to talk college football. Lee Smith later on to talk about our final report of golf. I am going to talk more about. I really thought the Zach Alberverdi story really illuminated it from the Billy Napier stuff in my mind. It really did. I'm going to expound on this later, but I'll make the point now. It really hit me. We all said Ryan Day brought in Chip Kelly to call plays and won a natty. Mike Norvell brought in Gus Malzahn to call plays and might have saved his job. Tony Elliott, the guy that just got the Virginia job, got it because he was a great play caller at Clemson. He brought in a play caller. Lane Kiffin, who's this wonderful play caller, brought in Charlie Weiss Jr. to call the plays. Just about everybody, not everybody, most of these coaches are doing it. Why did all these and I've tweeted this, I've talked about it on the air. Why did all these coaches do it and Billy Napier never did it? It finally hit me. Hey, I'm not joking. It finally hit me. You know what all those guys had that Billy didn't have? You know what every one of them had? The one thing they had that Billy doesn't have, they made it to where they were respected as a play caller. And Billy never had that. He had the job at Clemson for 2 years and got fired because he wasn't a good enough play caller. He got the job. He got passed over at Alabama when they thought he was going to. When Kiffin left, when McElwain left, he went with him. He was hoping he'd come back to get the call plays, but instead Saban gave it to Kiffin, so he didn't get to call plays. When Kiffin left for FAU and Sarkisian was just an analyst, he thought he was going to get to call plays then. Really thought so. Instead, Saban gave it to Sarkisian. He got ticked off and went to Arizona State. Lasted 1 year, and the staff got fired. So he's never proven that he's never had the public say that guy's a play caller. And by God, he's still trying to prove it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you read the story that Zach wrote or not, but I thought it was powerful. And that's my take. I'm not a psychologist. I could be wrong. But I kept saying, why Ryan Day did it, and Elliott did it, and Norvell did it, and Kiffin does it, and all these play callers, because they had proven their worth as play callers. And Billy never has. No one's ever said, boy, is that guy a good play caller. It's never happened. And so help me, I think he's hell-bent on proving that to the world. I will expound on it later, but I thought that story was really telling, really, really telling. We'll take a break. Let's talk college football. Greg McGarity joins us from the Gator Bowl after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Every Sunday drive deserves a Monday morning quarterback.
Did anyone look at the scoreboard?
We'll take apart the top games, key plays, and controversial calls from the weekend.
Post-game Monday.
Delivered by Dandy Foods on 1010XL.
Jacksonville is my hometown, and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to brandonroofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service, 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
Start your Saturday with a whiff of the great outdoors.
Captain Kevin Favor here with Captain Kirk and Jeff Loggeman, and we bring you the fresh air of the great outdoors.
On the Nimnit Outdoors Show, presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnik Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnik's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnikchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnik has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnik. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Reclaim a pain-free life with Rebound Rehab. If you've been injured or simply feeling the effects of an active life, you can rely on Rebound Rehabilitation to get you back in the game. Sitting on the sidelines isn't any fun. Trust Rebound Rehab's team of trained physical therapists to get you back up to speed and feeling full again. Now more convenient than ever. 11 locations to serve you, including new offices in Riverside across from St. Vincent's, Point Meadows, and Middleburg. Just log on to reboundrehab.com to see all they've got to offer.
This football season, make Hurricane Grill and Wings your game day getaway. Sip on handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita or enjoy an ice-cold Bud Light. Game day drink specials are here all season. Find a location near you at hurricanewings.com.
Pickett here. Celebrate the spooky season with Zero Res. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139, plus a free haul, and take 15% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and take advantage of these huge savings.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you need a lawyer that specializes in big trucks. A lawyer who knows all the federal traffic rules that can affect your case.
And who can navigate the complex web of laws dealing with the trucking company, the leasing company, the shipper, and all the other details that can complicate your case.
At Farah & Farah, we've seen it all, and we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Jacksonville.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Rooter, the area's most trusted service company. We're licensed, insured, and the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, septic tank pump outs, drain field installations, and full air conditioning service, we do it all. Call 904-862-6769 or visit duckrooter.com. Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Frank Frangie here from my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
The College Football Report is presented each week by the Gator Bowl with Executive Director Greg McGarity. Here's Greg with the Frangie Show crew.
Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline here. Hayes, I don't know if you were watching because you were kind of locked into you're a real busy guy. You're looking at your computer. But McGarity just went to the pocket and pulled out the board. He did not have the. Did you know he didn't have the board out?
Yeah.
But
I got nervous.
Right when the music started playing, he went to the pocket.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's now a board. It's a little.
It's a detailed board. I can see from here. We've got at least a dozen teams written down there.
There's a board there. So
you reach my age, you have to have some help.
I hear you. I'm not far behind. Have you made some progress? I mean, are we still want Auburn, Georgia Tech? By the way, let me just say this. Someone was listening last time you were on and said this. Someone said, I love when you have McGarity on. I said, I do. He's fun. He's one of my buddies. He said, but he doesn't BS and he doesn't dance around. But, I mean, you think about it. When I say which teams, you don't go through 78 teams. You go, I like them. I like them. And you go, Auburn and Georgia Tech. That was fantastic, by the way. Well, so are we getting Auburn and Georgia Tech? That's my question.
I see Tennessee. I saw Tennessee and FSU the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, all these. I think
How about that?
Boy, that would be.
Oh my goodness.
I think we're going to be guaranteed to have some really good teams. Now, proximity may be an issue, but anywhere from Auburn, we need Florida to get on the horse and win 7 games.
You're not getting
starting this week.
Yeah, I got bad news.
Not
for
getting
you.
that.
Well. You can
dream.
Be eternal hopeful in this thing, in the swamp, the spirit and everything.
I'm gonna go. I don't
the
even
swamp.
Greg, I don't even particularly like Hayes, but I'm going to come with him on this one. I think I got to join him on this one.
Oh well.
So we'll see. All right. Well, what do you think about where we are now? Georgia losing, which was shocking. Is Alabama better than you thought? Than I thought? We'll start with the SEC. What jumped off the page for you?
Well, I think Lane Kiffin had a great comment yesterday or 2 days ago about the days of the dynasties in the conference are gone in his mind because you play 9 games. And, I mean, we saw Mississippi State before the season. You thought that might be a guaranteed win. Barely beat Tennessee in overtime. Look at Vandy. I mean, game day going to Tuscaloosa for the Vandy game. So I think there's some givens there that the way I look at it, I think Arkansas is going to struggle to be bowl eligible. I think Kentucky will struggle. We'll see what Florida does. They can turn the corner here. South Carolina's got a tough road. So you basically look at maybe who may not be eligible in order to see how many teams will feed into the system. And then you think about who's going to go up to the college football playoff. So, you'll really start to have a much better idea in 2 or 3 weeks.
And seriously, we joked about it, but you have to be 6-6, right?
Correct.
Correct. Isn't there something if you run out of teams? There's an APR thing.
If there are not enough teams with a 6-6 record, then you go to 5-7 teams who have the best academic rank.
Yeah, because we joked about it, but I don't think there's any way Florida gets to 6. So they're not in your. I mean, I don't think they'll be. I mean, it's my honest opinion. I don't think there's any way.
Well, and even if, like we learned last year, even if they got to 6, they're going to make you take an 8 or 9 win SEC team over Florida.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how many SEC teams go up.
Right.
But they're going to start to knock each other off, so there'll be some movement there.
The other thing too, you talked about Vanderbilt, and this was extraordinary. Vanderbilt has 26 graduate transfer players on their roster. So the other part of the dynasty comment from Kiffin, you then mold that with the fact that, and I don't think that's going to greatly change. So you're going to have this massive age discrepancy too, where some of the teams that maybe don't recruit the high schools at a big level can go basically get a team full of 23 and 24-year-olds, and they're going to be competitive. We've seen it in college basketball. They're going to be competitive against those 5-star 18-year-olds.
I think that's the new normal. I just think you're going to see every team that's going to be so competitive, some more than others, but anything can happen on game day. I mean, Virginia beating FSU, I didn't have that on my card.
No, me neither.
I just didn't think Virginia could compete with them. But Lord, Virginia's quarterback's pretty darn good.
He is good,
and he's played at I think 4 other schools before he got to Virginia. So you just don't know, and you can't really plan ahead at all and foresee like how you're going to be next year because you just start over every year now.
Let me ask you about Florida again. What's your gut on Florida? You told me you think he's going to last for a while. You are not as convinced as we are that Billy's down his last 2 or 3 weeks.
I still think that way.
You do?
I really do. A lot depends on how they play. Now I didn't think Sam Pittman was on the ropes there,
but they got beat so bad.
But when everybody left at half,
right,
and maybe Hunter felt like maybe they just didn't have the juice.
Yeah.
If they had been competitive, I'm sure he's still there.
You're right. If Notre Dame beats them 31-30 on a field goal,
absolutely,
he's probably still the coach.
Absolutely, because their other 2 games were just they lost, in fumbles going into score.
They almost beat Ole Miss, right?
So I think again, we talk about indicators during the year, and there's certain indicators, but Florida, they better be competitive against Texas. If they aren't, that's just another part of the file that you keep on certain things as you evaluate. But Florida needs to be competitive. They should be competitive against Texas.
Should be. What did you make of FSU losing to Virginia? Does that change how you view the Seminoles coming off that huge win over Alabama?
All depends on this week.
Yeah.
I mean, if they have 2 losses, then they still have to go to Clemson, who I still think Dabo's a good enough coach to turn things around. Maybe not all the way around.
I don't disagree with that.
But they're going to be competitive. They're going to fight for him. They're not going to quit. So that's what makes it intriguing. But that's why that loss was so difficult, because it took some of the glamour off the Alabama win, even though Alabama, I think, is going to be in the college football playoff when it's all said and done.
I'll say this. If Miami beats FSU this week, now FSU all of a sudden is 0-2 in the league, and they could lose at Clemson. Who knows? The one thing we learned about Virginia, like to your point, Greg, none of us thought Virginia was beating FSU, and all of a sudden they're better than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe by then NC State will be better or whoever. So they could be in playing your game.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, FSU here, they haven't been here in a while, right? I mean,
it'd be great.
FSU in your game would be. I mean,
Bobby Bowden's last game might have been the last.
I think
time
that's the last time. I think that's the last.
So absolutely, I mean, that would be great. I mean, again, if we were lucky in the Stars and had Florida State and Auburn, that'd be a great matchup.
Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be unbelievable.
Great.
That's the thing. If you get Florida State on the ACC side, you're almost guaranteed a blockbuster, because the SEC is always going to deliver.
You're right.
Well, I say that for the most part. You have a 90% chance that you're going to be very happy with the SEC school. So, I mean, that would be in Tennessee, Florida State. I mean, that would be first 1 to 50.
Absolutely. Florida State versus anyone is going to be good. Just as Florida against anyone's going to be good.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what as you get closer now. We're in October.
Mm-hmm.
Do you meet with your committee now? Is it too early to meet and say, okay, guys, let's put a board up there? When does all that start?
Yeah, I think it's mid-November.
Oh, not till November.
Mid-November, because then you'll have an idea of who really is in play.
Right.
You'll have the college football playoff rankings at hand, because that'll give you an idea about who's going to slide up and who may be in your pool. And you'll also know who's not in your pool. So it just gives you more time to not waste their time.
That's a good point.
And just be guessing and have a little bit more conclusive data.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can get by waiting until November. You give a lot of teams time to eliminate themselves.
That's right, absolutely.
And you can eliminate yourself in the Gator Bowl by going bottom up or winning all your games.
That's
right. I mean, you got
to be in the sweet spot.
Yeah, yeah. If you get to the middle of November and someone's 9-0, you're probably not getting them.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good point.
Right.
In terms of the SEC, some teams that we haven't talked about, Ole Miss can't come back, Correct. So even if
That's
they
correct.
don't make the
That's
playoff,
correct.
they're out.
Yep.
Missouri 5-0. I don't think they're making the playoff. But if
We
they
don't want Missouri.
They need to stay west.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if they
we don't want Missouri.
But if they finish 10-2, miss the playoff, and say we really want to get to Florida, that creates a problem for the league.
Yeah, and Orlando may take them.
Yeah.
They have the first pick. The Citrus Bowl, as we know it, has the first pick, and then and then Tampa. Everybody wants to come to Florida. They don't want to go to Memphis.
Right.
They don't want to go to Houston unless you're close to that area. So there may be some situations where fit doesn't work, and that's why it's important for teams that are close to us that get on the winning train.
Right.
So
would Vandy have some charm?
I think so. With 5-0. They've got a tough schedule. I don't want to say where I've got them pegged, but I don't know if they'll have enough wins by the end of the year to be.
Sure. But if they finish 9-3.
Yeah, I think they would be attractive.
Yeah, it's funny about that. I would, and I'm going to ask you about Missouri in a minute. As a fan of the Gator Bowl, who's been a fan of the Gator Bowl my whole life, and you know how hard I root for you and you guys, I would have no interest in Missouri, not even a sliver. I think Vanderbilt coming here would be kind of cool.
Well,
particularly to play like that.
That was a choice. Yeah, hands down, take the Commodores.
I would think. I don't mean just compared to Missouri. I think Vanderbilt here would be okay. Because it hasn't. There's a charm to it. There's a decent Vandy alumni base here. I think that would be. I think that'd be pretty cool. I want to go back to Missouri.
Yep.
Well, obviously, and there's no knock on Missouri. They have a good program and it's a wonderful school. But Jacksonville, Florida's bowl doesn't want them for all the proximity reasons we've always discussed.
Right.
But if you got them, if the league said, listen, this is the way it's playing out, what do you do then? You reach out to the school, you have the presser. Is there anything extra you can do? What do you do?
Well, you just have to depend on that team bringing people to the game. As difficult as
you don't
that
take an
may
extra
be.
trip up there, or you don't. There's nothing.
No,
funky.
I think by that time, fans are either disappointed or they're excited.
Yeah,
and a lot depends on who would they play. If they come here, with all due respect to Boston College,
good point.
It's a nothing burger.
It's
there.
not like coming to play Clemson.
That's correct.
Yeah.
If it's Notre Dame, okay.
Yeah.
You may set the table in Notre Dame right now. They'd be in our mix. Unless they run the table, and I'm not sure their schedule the rest of the way, but if they lose again, definitely they aren't in the college football playoff. They may not be in it now, but I just think if they run the table and go 10-2, they'll certainly be, in the hunt.
Tell you what, a few years ago, I called were you here for Notre Dame, South Carolina?
I was.
Okay, Shane Matthews and I called that game. Great crowd. Great game.
Fantastic.
That was you wouldn't think Notre Dame, South Carolina, that was a fantastic Gator Bowl.
Absolutely.
In terms of Georgia, what do you see? Any signs that maybe they're not as strong as they've been, or did Alabama just have a great night? Because Tennessee was a field goal opportunity away from beating Georgia.
Absolutely.
Is that nature of the SEC, or is there something with Georgia that maybe isn't as strong as years past, in your opinion?
No, I think that game was a classic example of Alabama taking advantage of every opportunity. They dropped a wide open touchdown pass too. I think the first drive of the game. Georgia likewise. I just think critical mistakes at the wrong time hampered Georgia. They got down so quick, just like they got down against Tennessee, just like they got down against Alabama last year. So they've got to find a way to start better, because they figured out in the second half, but by that time, you may be 14 points down or whatever. And it's just, if you get down every game by that amount, it's just so difficult against really good teams that don't make mistakes. I don't think Alabama had a turnover in that game, and their quarterback played great, and Georgia didn't put a hand on him. So I think Alabama just had the right mixture. I think Georgia's going to be fine. But it just shows you the parity in this. They have to go to Mississippi State. Georgia does. So you may have been they got to go to Auburn in 2 weeks at night. So, it's going to be very difficult to just have one loss this year, because last year, Georgia went to the championship game with 2 losses. Heck, you may see a team with 3 losses in the game this year.
Never know. Before you let you go through your board with us. Who you got on the 2 conferences? Who'd you write down?
Well, I got Mississippi State at A&M.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit there. Texas at Florida, which we mentioned, Vandy at Alabama, but on the ACC side, of course, Miami and FSU, and then a game that's critical for Louisville as they host Virginia. So Louisville would be a very attractive team. I think Louisville is going to win 10 games this year.
Yeah, okay.
just like Georgia Tech, which I think will win 11.
So you'd like Louisville to come here?
I wouldn't mind them at all.
Yeah.
I'd prefer Georgia Tech, or all Georgia Tech on that side would be great for us.
Yeah.
But if they go 11-0 entering the Georgia game, which they should do, I mean, they got a break in Wake Forest.
They hung on.
But sometimes, it's like they beat Miami down on Coral Gables that time when a guy should have taken a knee and they fumbled. So you got to be lucky and take advantage of someone else's mistakes to be successful.
All right. Greg McGarity's in the Gator Bowl. It gets interesting. We're a couple weeks away. We're a couple weeks away from knowing more. Greg McGarity is the executive director of the Gator Bowl, talking college football with us. Greg, thanks, buddy.
My pleasure.
Back in a moment. 1010 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be an 8-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnickchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. I've been buying my vehicles from Nimnick since 1982 because they care about their customers and are invested in our local community, including supporting walk-off charities, and all we're trying to do to help underprivileged kids learn to play baseball. Treating you right, giving back to the community, more choices and better prices for you. So who has put the most years and stands behind a better experience? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Visit their showroom off Cassett Avenue or shop 24/7 at nimnickchevy.com. Head to Nimnick today. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Touchdowns win games, and they win bets too. Joe C for Hard Rock Bet, and rooting on your favorite player to hit pay dirt in Week 5 is just another layer of the fun you can have on Hard Rock Bet. So much college and pro ball to enjoy, and if you think the dogs are barking this weekend, check out which underdogs bettors are backing in the Hard Rock Bet Discover page. Take your shot at a plus money payday today. Hard Rock Bet. Download the app and play. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. A newer partnership has been tops with Zion card cases. Out this fall, the Zion cases come in a variety of sizes for graded and non-graded cards. An excellent way to protect and travel with your collection. Zion cases at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, Hammer Time with Hayes, driven by Kia on Atlantic. Southside Kia is now Kia on Atlantic. Check us out at KiaOnAtlantic.com.
It's been at least a few days since I've ripped Billy Napier in one of these, so I'm due. So I was thinking about this, about Billy Napier, and it's ironic. We joke about when Florida releases their team picture, in training camp, and there's 500 people in the picture. And, we joked about it before week 1 because Long Island had like 40 people in their team picture. Florida has like 500. Yet it's so ironic that none of those 500 can be the interim coach, that this is a coach that surrounds himself with hundreds of staffers, but none of them can be qualified enough to make sure a team arrives to the stadium on time for the final 7 games of the year. So again, just another thing that annoys me about Billy Napier. You hire an army, but none of them are able to take over as an interim coach. It just says volumes about his psyche.
And to his psyche, I want to emphasize, excuse me, I can't clear my throat today. I want to emphasize the point I made at the top of the program, Hayes. And this isn't to rip him as much as to assess, the psyche. Let me do his whole coaching career. All right. He started out and he was a player. He was a player until 2002 in college at Furman. He was a grad assistant right after that. He wasn't going to play pro ball, so he was a grad assistant at Clemson. Assistant coach at South Carolina State. Assistant coach for a while at Clemson. In 2009 and 2010, he got the coordinator job. He was a super young coordinator, and this all comes from Zach Elberverdi's story on 3. So he got a really young, he was at 29 years old. He was a coordinator at Clemson. They were 6 and 7 his 2 years, and he got fired. His second year, and he got fired. He did okay his first year. Second year, got fired. So his one chance to call plays ended after 2 cracks at it, right? So he goes to Alabama as an analyst, right, under Saban. Was there 1 year. McElwain gets McElwain, the play caller, gets the Colorado State job. So he goes with McElwain to be the assistant head coach and do quarterbacks. Probably thought he was going to call the plays or wanted to call the plays. His 1 year with McElwain as the assistant head coach, but Jim called his own plays. Okay, so Jim called his own plays there. So he stayed there 1 year. He went back to Alabama then and was a full-time assistant coach. While he was at Alabama, Saban gave the play calling to Kiffin. Now, Billy probably thought he was getting it, but he gave it to Kiffin. Stay with me on this. During that stretch, he brought in Steve Sarkisian as an analyst when USC fired him. Okay? So Kiffin gets the FAU job. When Kiffin gets the FAU job, that was like 16, right? Somewhere thereabouts. Billy thinks now's my chance to call plays. They've got a championship game coming up. Kiffin left before the championship game.
Saban told him
he booted him.
You need to go.
Yeah, so now Billy's thinking, all right, I get to call plays now because the one guy ahead of me on the offensive staff total poll is gone. Instead, Saban has Sark, who's only an analyst at the time, call plays, which apparently really ticked off Billy, from what everybody says. So much so that he left immediately to go to Arizona State with Todd Graham, who'd been the Pitt coach, is now the Arizona State coach, to call plays. Well, that lasted 1 year, and the whole staff got fired. And he did okay, but so again, another failure as the offensive coordinator. But that got him a job at Louisiana, and he's been a head coach ever since. I kept saying, Hayes, I said this at the top of the program, I want to say it again. Why was Ryan Day, Mike Norvell, Tony Elliott, Lane Kiffin, there's 3 or 4 other guys, Kirby Smart on the defensive side. Why were all these guys, once they became head coaches, or at least while they're head coaches, why were they willing to give up play calling? Because they had been proven, they had accomplished what they wanted, and they were proven play callers. They had accomplished what they wanted. They had gained the respect they needed as a play caller. They were now secure about it. They could pass it off. Billy Napier, because of the stretch I just gave you, was never respected as a play caller. Now, he went to Louisiana and called his own plays, but he got the Florida job because they won a bunch of games at the end, and he recruited well and had good players. So in my opinion, because there's got to be a reason he stubbornly sticks to this when everybody, including his AD, pleaded with him to go hire a play caller. I think it's because he still is hell-bent on proving to the world he can do it, because he's never been given the respect as a play caller that he wanted.
Yeah, it's a good take, and it's hard to argue with any of that. I mean, clearly being a successful CEO-style head coach does not appeal to Billy Napier. He wants to, and look, we've heard Lane Kiffin say this week. I grew up admiring Steve Spurrier. Billy Napier is basically the same age, a little younger, but same,
give or take.
Grew up in the same era. And I think that Billy Napier falls into that category, as he's always dreamed of not just being a successful head coach, but being somebody that is known as a gifted play caller. And clearly he is not that, but he is unwilling to accept that. And because of that, it really is a shame, because I think Billy Napier, as a CEO of a college program, could be very successful.
I agree with that.
But he insists on being in charge of the offensive X's and O's, and clearly he has a very remedial mind for that. And ultimately, it's going to cost him his shot, because he's never going to get another opportunity to have a job like Florida. He'll get a head coaching job again somewhere.
He'll go to Western
At some
Kentucky.
point, the Troy job will open.
Right.
But, in terms of a job where people are going to notice you, this is really it. And it is a shame, because I do think if he had just been willing to give it up, and there's other things too. I mean, he also has a historically bad staff. So again, I think that speaks to a coach that really probably deep down knows his deficiencies, but doesn't want those to be illuminated by being in the room with others that are clearly brighter about the game, but are in a lower position of rank, so to speak. So I think it all plays in. But it is a shame, because I do think there is a successful CEO head coach in Billy Napier, but we're never going to see it, because he is so driven to be known as the riverboat gambler play caller, Billy Napier, when in reality, he's one of the worst doing it in Division I football.
And that's the bottom line, and that's what will end his career at Florida. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The bank opens for business, and America watches when the Monday night lights turn teal. It's pride, power, and primetime swagger. Feel the Duval energy. Jaguars, Chiefs. It's Monday Night Football on 1010XL.
Jacksonville, get ready to spice up your night at One Night Taco Stand every Taco Tuesday. Enjoy their mouth-watering tacos for just $3.49 and all day, every day, 2-for-1 house margaritas and 2-for-1 daiquiris. Find fresh Mexican street food, stiff drinks, and fun vibes at One Night Taco Stand with 3 Jacksonville locations in Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows.
Helmets and Heels is returning to Vegas. If you're heading out for the big game, join us at Circa Resort and Casino this October for a Halloween weekend football getaway, featuring Circa room discounts and a huddle up for everyone in the teal and black. Meet Helmets and Heels Friday night, October 31st, then hit the Circa Stadium swim with temperature-controlled pools and a massive betting screen. For Circa room discounts and more information, visit the 1010XL webpage or circalasvegas.com/huddleup-up.
Get more Gators with Dan Hickett and me, Frank Frangie, on all things Gators on 1010XL Gators podcast, with new episodes every Monday, brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, wherever you find podcasts, and at 1010XL.com.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. When it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to American-Electrical.com and see how they can help you.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Quality work is sometimes hard to come by these days, and if you want quality in a fence that'll last, make the call to Duval. Duval Fence, that is, a good Jacksonville company with good Jacksonville people committed to quality service. If you need a fence for your home or a business, anything, just call Duval Fence at 260-4747. Give them an idea of what you're looking for, and they'll take care of the rest. Property fence, privacy fence, pool, or pets, make sure you call Duval Fence today.
Swing for the future of veterans and military spouses at Operation New Uniform's second annual Patriot Games Golf Tournament. I'm Michelle McManaman.
And I'm Pete Langlois. Join us Monday, October 6th. Register today at onuvets.org. That's onuvets.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Let's get cranked up with the Jaguars. Travon Walker, day to day after wrist surgery, according to Liam Cohen. He does leave it open that there is a chance Travon Walker will be available against Kansas City.
Yeah, and I've been told that there's a chance he'll play. It's up to Travon. I think what you're going to hear is he's cleared to play. He's not going to re-injure it. He's good to go. But are you able, from a pain standpoint, from a functionality standpoint, you don't want to play if it's going to keep you from being as good a player as you can be either. But I would be surprised if Travon didn't at least try to give it a go. He's a tough guy.
Liam Cohen was asked at today's press conference about the depth behind Travon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen, and he had good things to say about DeJuan Smoot.
Huge. Especially Smoot has been really getting better and better every week. Plays his tail off. Og obviously gives us some flex to be able to play outside and be able to reduce a little bit inside. BJ Green got some snaps, obviously, last week. And then, Dennis Gardeck's continuing to, I think, get more and more comfortable out there. So, feel confident, though, if that has to happen.
I'd like to see Gardeck get after Mahomes.
Yeah. He's a maniac.
Yeah.
Now, he's more of a linebacker than a situational rusher, but I agree with you. Smoot's been good, by the way.
Yeah.
Smoot's been a good signing. It's good to see DeJuan Smoot back. He's been a good signing. Ogba hasn't been as good, but Smoot's been good for them.
We'll wait to see the injury report later today, but it appeared to be good news. It seems like every player other than Travon Walker was participating in practice, at least to some degree. So guys like Murray, McCary, Harrison, De'Ami Brown.
Right.
It seemed like, a good start to the week. So, but again, we'll see what the injury report looks like when it comes out later. Staying with the Jaguars, congratulations to linebacker Devin Lloyd, the AFC Defensive Player of the Month. What a month for Devin Lloyd. Of course, he leads the NFL in interceptions with 3, also has a fumble recovery. This stunned me, all of us in the media center when we saw it. Devin Lloyd is the first Jaguar to win AFC Defensive Player of the Month honors since Mike Peterson in 2005.
Yeah, first time since 2005. That's exactly. I saw it too, and it shocked me as well. But he's got 3 interceptions. He's played very well. I'll give him credit. I'll say it again. Everybody ran him off. Ventrell was going to beat him out. Kaiser was going to beat him out. They were going to cut him. They were going to trade him. And he said not so fast and has played really well. He's also been a good special teams player, which he never had to do before. He got challenged and he answered the challenge. Good for Devin. He's playing great.
If this keeps up, he obviously will. I'm assuming the Jaguars don't put a franchise tag on him. He's going to get a really lucrative deal, and the Jags probably are going to get a comp 3rd-round pick coming back if this continues, because right now Devin Lloyd playing about as well as any defensive player in the NFL. Congratulations to him on that marvelous award. Sounds of the Game is out. Came out last night, the latest edition from Jaguars Digital. Another fantastic breakdown of the 49ers victory. And again, these post-game victory locker rooms where you watch Liam Cohen, man, the electricity in that room is just pops off the screen.
It really does. They do. The digital department does such a great job. And there were so many big moments in that game. The takeaways, the long run by ETN, the punt return by Parker Washington, the kickoff return. There were so many there were so many good moments in there. They do a great job of capturing it. And you're right. The best part is Liam after the game. No matter what else happens, the best part is watching Liam after the game. Sounds of the Game is fantastic. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. It's good.
Absolutely. Let's get it to Around the NFL. Week 5 starts tonight as the 49ers travel to the Rams. Both teams are 3-1, so a great matchup on paper, but the 49ers will be without Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings. So
Jerry Rice,
I would expect
Taylor.
Christian McCaffrey to get a lot of work. And it'll be fun watching how LA defensively schemes that up because you got to think that, I mean, don't you have to have 3 guys on McCaffrey every snap? I know, that's kind of preposterous, but in this kind of a matchup, I mean, why not?
The Purdy thing is a really interesting story. Hurt for a while. Started to get healthier before the Jags. Was totally cleared to play. It wasn't like he wasn't limited going into the Jags game. Totally prepared to play. Then played the whole game. It's not like he got hurt in the middle of the game, and now it's down again. It's a weird circumstance for them for sure.
Without a doubt. Let's get into college football. The Big Ten is exploring a private equity deal that would pump $2 billion into the conference and its schools. Wow, that would be a massive game changer. Obviously, when you take that kind of money, expectations are going to rise. They expect to get, that's an investment. That's not a charitable gift. But boy, it tells you where college sports is going, that the Big Ten might take on $2 billion in investment from private equity.
It's hard for me to believe. I know private equity rules the world, but it's hard for me to believe that colleges would say that. Let's have an owner. Let's have a partial owner. I just can't believe it.
It'd be very interesting to watch. One thing I'm interested in seeing is Ed Orgeron is ready to return to coaching. Would you like a Lane Kiffin as your head coach, Ed Orgeron as your defensive coordinator?
I'd like
in Gainesville.
Lane Kiffin as the head coach and Ed O as my defensive line coach.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know that I want him as my coordinator, but I would take him right now as my line coach. Okay. I take him right now as my line coach. Yeah. Yes,
that's pretty good, actually.
I'd take him right now.
Yeah, well done. Let's get to Major League Baseball. Red Sox and Yankees are tied. The deciding game is tonight at 8. Who wins?
I still think the Yankees. JJ, you still think the Red Sox?
No, I think they have like a youngster on the mound tonight, I believe. So I'll go with the Yankees.
It's been a great series.
Yeah, it has been.
It's already a fun little postseason. It's already begun. 3 of the 4 series went to a third game. That's been fantastic.
Yeah, the only one that has been decided, the Dodgers sweep the Reds 2-0. So what do you make of the Dodgers?
Yeah, for me, I think the Dodgers-Phillies series is going to might decide the World Series. I think it's that good. The Dodgers are as good as advertised. The Phillies, even without Zach Wheeler, are very good, JJ. I think that's the best series. I think that'll be the best series we have the rest of the way.
Yeah, I picked the Phillies pretty much all year, but the Dodgers are really hot. They won like 15 of the last 20 even going into the postseason, and now they're hitting. And they're really only the question mark is their bullpen, but that Sasaki kid looked great last night. I'm fearful the Dodgers might win another one.
All right, very good. The Padres force Game 3 against the Cubbies. First pitch at 5 today, so just a couple hours away. Who do you like in Game 3 of Cubs-Padres?
I like the Cubs, but I've liked them all along. JJ hasn't, so he's going to take the Padres, I'll tell you. But I've liked the Cubs all along. I think the Cubs are going to go deeper than you do, JJ. Padres for you today?
Yeah.
And then one more. As you mentioned, there are 3 deciding games today. Cleveland-Detroit, that one starts in just about 5 minutes. Who do you guys like to win that one?
JJ, go first.
I like the Tigers. Even with the home crowd and everything, I think they might be an underdog in this game, but I just think they have a better lineup. I'd go with the Tigers.
I do too. I like the Tigers, even though they haven't been nearly as hot down the stretch, but I think the Tigers are going to win as well.
Let's get to college basketball. Duke signs coach John Shire to a 6-year extension. The rare coach that was able to succeed the legend. And you got to give him credit for that. I mean, he's no Todd Golden, but he's doing some wonderful things.
He's a really good coach. He was it helps that he was groomed by the legend. I mean, he was a Coach K. Yeah, he was a Coach K guy all along. But no, that doesn't change your point. It's unusual, no matter whether he was or wasn't. It's unusual for that to happen. But no, I think John Shire's a very good coach.
And we will get you out on our musical note of the day. Today, we honor Tom Petty, who died on this date 8 years ago. Hard to believe.
Wow.
It's been 8 years since we lost Tom Petty.
Wow.
This is American Girl. I went with American Girl because Won't Back Down. We're saving that one for Saturday.
This is pretty.
When it's Texas 38, Florida 3.
We'll see if they do back down. This is a great song.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
This is my favorite
This
Petty
is a great. This is probably the best Petty song.
Yeah.
It is a great song. Well done as always.
Thank you.
Hour two's coming up. That includes Lee Smith in about 20 minutes. When we come back, we'll talk some Jaguars. Stay with us.
Well, she was an American girl, raised on promises.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get ready to go viral with us.
Jeff Prosser and Dan Hickett on the Swamp Sessions podcast.
It's no holds barred, live streamed on the 1010XL social channels right after every Gator game.
From Voodoo Brewing Company.
Driven by Atlantic Infinity.
It's the fall savings event going on now at Renewal by Anderson. Upgrading your home has never been easier. Get 20% off replacement windows and patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires October 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
They give their best physically and mentally.
Listen for the Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Scholar Athlete of the Week. Tuned up by
The Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
Wednesday afternoons on The Frangie Show.
On 1010XL.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida, and don't let the state decide your fate.
When you need plumbing, septic, or air conditioning service, trust matters. That's why more homeowners in Jacksonville choose Duck Duck Rooter. From small plumbing repairs to major renovations, we do it all. Visit DuckDuckRooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Looking for an engagement ring in Jacksonville? Here's a pop quiz. Which Jacksonville jeweler cuts out the middleman and guarantees the lowest price on any diamond? I'm thinking it's... No, it's Beard's Diamonds. Question 2. Which jeweler in the town center has thousands of designer engagement rings and a multi-million-dollar diamond inventory? I'm going to say... No, it's Beard's Diamonds. Question 3. Which jeweler in Jacksonville offers an unbiased diamond education, a lifetime upgrade, and free maintenance for life? How about Dude, you should have learned by now it's Beard's Diamonds. Final question. Which jewelry store in Jacksonville hasn't been sold a few times and is currently not owned by a national conglomerate? Beard's Diamonds? Ding, ding, ding. Now you're getting it. Beard's Diamonds guarantees a better selection, an unbeatable price, superior warranties with no corporate rule books, no commission salespeople, and no chain store atmosphere. Beard's Diamonds, Jacksonville's jeweler. St. John's Town Center.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a slip and slide gone wrong? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Wago Glass is clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
Don't ghost your carpet this fall. Hicken here. Right now, you can get your entire home zero-resified from Jacksonville's Ultimate Carpet Cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $139 plus a free haul for Halloween. Get it? There's something scarier than ghosts and goblins hiding in your home. It's in your air ducts. This month, take 50% off your air duct and dryer vent cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com. Ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res.
Kuhn Flowers announces their home holiday decorating team is now taking orders for the holiday season. This is RJ with 1010XL. No more hassling with tree buying, untangling, and hanging burned out lights. Call on Kuhn Flowers. They do it all.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. Looking ahead to the weekend, we have another major college football slate beginning with the debut of Florida star freshman wide receiver Dallas Wilson as he takes the field for the first time in a Gator uniform against Texas Saturday at 3:30. Then at 7:30, the 18th ranked Florida State Seminoles take on the 3rd ranked Miami Hurricanes in Tallahassee. It's 82 degrees at 3 o'clock time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pool.
Man, we had our Stanley Pools folks out a couple times this week, working on our pool, working on our pavers. They're great to service whatever you do, and they're the best to do it. Since 1988, they have been the best in the business, my friends, from Stanley Pools. I appreciate them. I really do. And I'm glad they're my pool company. I'm glad to be a spokesperson and have been glad for many, many years on these Thursday shows. Frangie, Carline, LaSelva with you. Lee Smith joins us in about 10 minutes or so, 15 or so, to talk a Ryder Cup and to wrap the golf season and to look back one last time with Lee about what we think was a fantastic golf season. To the Jags for a moment here. We talked about Travon. Great matchup, a great opportunity for Trevor Lawrence. He's going head-to-head with Patrick Mahomes. You know my feeling on that. You're not on the field at the same time, but it is considered a head-to-head matchup. What are some things you think have to happen? The obvious, I think there's obvious things. It's clear now 4 games in, they're a physical team that wants to run the football. They're 4th in the league in rushing. Kansas City, by the way, is 22nd in the league in run defense. They're 8th or 9th in pass defense. So they're way better at defending the pass than they are the run. They're not great at defending the run. One of the worst teams in the league. The Jags are one of the best teams at running. When you run, the drives take longer. When you run, the opposing offense stays off the field. I know it's cliche, and you could say it every week, but I think running the football is really important this week.
Without a doubt. And you've got to figure out how to get takeaways from a team that is only committed 1, and that was because their Hall of Fame tight end dropped a pass at the goal line. So they really should have 0. In terms of this is such a unbelievable coaching challenge for Liam Cohen and his staff. For Liam Cohen, you're going up against arguably the greatest defensive coordinator in the game right now. I mean, if it's between Spagnuolo or Fangio, it's pick your poison. But I would make the case Spags is the best defensive mind in football over these last 3 to 5 years. So for Liam Cohen, it's your 5th game as a head coach, and here comes Spags into your building to shut you down and confuse your quarterback. For Anthony Campanile, you're looking at Andy Reid and trying to slow down Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And Liam Cohen, said something today. These guys have been together now for 8 years. Mahomes has repped all these plays thousands of times. I mean, they're just so much further along in their partnership than really anyone, but certainly Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence. So the chess match here is such a decided edge to Kansas City on paper, but it doesn't mean that that's the way it's going to go in the game. I mean, Liam Cohen may have some things that, Spags misses on and vice versa. Campanile may have some things that, Andy Reid Mahomes isn't particularly ready for. But that I think is a big storyline in this game, because I thought last week's game, Liam Cohen going up against Kyle Shanahan, was a really intriguing storyline because of the success Kyle Shanahan has had. Now you multiply that by 3, because Reed's been more successful than Shanahan. And, oh, by the way, Spags is a light years better coordinator than Robert Saleh. So the coaching matchup here is paramount. And often we don't get too wrapped up in that because we know it's the players that will decide the game. But you worry about the mistakes. Kansas City probably isn't going to make a lot of unforced errors. They haven't made many. They've turned the ball over once all year. I don't know that you can count on getting 3 or 4 takeaways from the Chiefs. So you're going to have to be better on third down, which has been a challenge for the Jaguars on both sides of the ball. The Jaguars are 26th on third down offense, converting at 35.2%. They're 29th on defense. Third down percentage, 45.6, coming off an effort against San Francisco where the 49ers converted 60% of their third down. So, obviously that's not sustainable. Like you're not going to, if the Chiefs do that, the Chiefs are going to win this game. So I think a marvelous test. You don't want to say you're playing with house money because there's, the what a win would do for you is so massive. But I think the matchups strongly favor a Kansas City win.
Jacksonville's got to, I said this earlier, got to run the football and hold the ball. When there are opportunities there to make plays, you have to make them. They've been pretty good about that. The one game they didn't, Brian Thomas Jr. drops a pass near the goal line. De'Ami Brown drops a pass in the end zone. The one pass, and they had a pass interference called, fair or not, that they didn't wind up making the play technically. That you lose the game. Every other game, you make the plays at the end of the game, you win the game. Yeah, look, Kansas City's good. They don't have great weapons. Pacheco's not what he once was, in my opinion. Kelsey's not what he once was, in my opinion. They're good players. Neither one of them are what they were. Gray, the other tight end's good, not great. They do have Xavier Worthy. He'll be interesting to me because does he stretch the field, and do they have to hit him a few times before the Jags will buy it, right? So, but yeah, for me, the Chiefs have the better team, but the Jags, this place is going to be on fire on Monday night. This will be one of the few NFL games where a home crowd really does help you win the game, and I think they could. So this is going to be a good one now, Hayes. This will be on so many fronts. This will wind up being a really fun game to watch, a fun game to learn more about your team. And I'll say this: there's no part of me that shows up at that game Monday night thinking, we're probably not going to win. I've thought that so many times in these past 12 years of calling these games. And I'm not I would never say it. I'd never be mean spoken. I'm rooting for this team like you can't imagine, as all play-by-play guys would. But there's times I've thought, they're not winning this game, right? I mean, last year in Buffalo, they weren't winning that game. I didn't need to wait for the outcome. I don't think I'm going to feel that way at all about this year's team. Here's why. Because I don't feel it now. Now, I may not pick them to win, but I don't think there's any games that I'm not convinced they can win. And that's what's changed. Is they are now, and I'll say it again, they started 1-1. They were going to have to beat the Texans so people didn't think it was the same old Jaguars. They did it. They were then going to have to go on the road and beat the 49ers, so they became relevant. They did it. And now they've got to beat the Chiefs so they become elite. So you go from not same old Jags to relevant to elite if you win these games. That's how important, that's how critically important this game is to your self-esteem, your psyche, and how you're viewed.
Guess how many games Patrick Mahomes has lost in the regular season as a starter?
11.
Well, it's 25.
Okay.
That would be pretty remarkable.
Okay.
But he's 91-25 in the regular season as a starting quarterback. I mean, it's just what you're going up against Monday night is arguably the greatest to ever do it. I mean, one day you might be able to make that case for Mahomes.
Well, you certainly can do that.
And he's certainly further along than Brady was at this stage of Brady's career.
You certainly can make the argument that when you talk, whoever your guy is, mostly Brady, whether it's Brady, Montana, Elway, Marino, Peyton, whoever your guy is, and it's probably Brady, but you certainly can say him in the same breath with any of them, including Brady. You can say him in the same breath with all of them, including Tom Brady.
Yeah. So I mean, again, this Chiefs team is certainly a little bit more vulnerable, I would say, than previous years. But they did get into a rhythm against Baltimore, who has a bad defense, but still, the Chiefs will come here with some offensive confidence. But boy, it's just hard to pick against Mahomes. It's just hard to believe that when they need a play, if the Jaguars are able to push the Chiefs to the brink, it's hard to believe that. And again, Liam Cohen referenced this today at his press conference, that Mahomes, isn't gonna. You always have to watch out for the behind the back or he sky hooks the pass,
right.
or I mean, it's just he's an extraordinary player. And again, he's 91-25.
Pretty amazing
in the regular season. It is just extraordinary. He's 17-4 in the playoffs too, so he doesn't cool down when he gets into the tournament. But again, they have lost twice this year. I'm not suggesting it can't be done, but yeah, I would say the Jaguars are going to have 225 yards on the ground to pull off the win.
Let's take a break. Lee Smith joins us one last time this year to talk golf, to wrap up the golf season, to talk about the Ryder Cup and a whole lot more. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie talking turf. I tuned into topdressing.com ads on 1010XL. I've heard the buzz and decided to meet their team. Well, they're spot on and they're top dressing my yard soon. And I can't wait. Make your St. Augustine grass rival fairways, even, healthy, resilient. And as a golfer, I get it. Improves aeration, adds nutrients, white glove service, thorough. Personalized plans. Like I said, I'm in. I'm doing it and you can too. Join in. Dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser start the week by giving the ball to the best back in Duval.
And off, Fred Taylor.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins DUI defense firm and Monahan Jewelers on 1010XL.
Want a fresh and flavorful tailgate this season? Chicken Salad Chick has scratch-made Southern-style chicken salad perfect for lunch, parties, and your tailgate. Order 3 ways at one of 4 area locations. Call 1-833-MY-CHICK or online at chickcatering.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
It's kind of like his own private locker, and you're his guest.
Every time we talk, I'm reinvigorated by my love of the game.
Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010XL.com.
Hayes Blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
Rick Ballou here with the congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, JohnAutomotiveJacks.com.
The Alhambra Theater and Dining brings you an evening of wonderful food and live theater and fun. October 9th through November 16th, come enjoy the award-winning musical from Charles Dickens' final unfinished novel, The Mystery of Edwin Drood, an interactive show where the audience gets to choose the ending. The Mystery of Edwin Drood promises to be an entertaining night for you, family, and friends. Get tickets at alhambrajacks.com. alhambrajacks.com.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal, you look troubled. Is something bugging you?
This friendship isn't all upside for me, Jason. People keep asking me stuff about you.
They ask you about me?
Is it really cooler with Bueller, they ask? So I say, totally. And they say, how do you mean that? And I say, he fixes air conditioners, which literally makes somebody cool. But he also has cool sunglasses and cool people and a cool family.
And I try to make working at Bueller Air and Plumbing a really cool experience for our technicians and plumbers. We treat our people like gold, and they treat our homeowners the exact same way.
Great. Well, now there's another cool thing I've got to remember. This is a lot of responsibility, Jason.
Life can get hectic sometimes. If you don't take a moment to slow down and appreciate all the cool parts, you could miss it.
Do people ask you about me at all?
Weirdly, they do.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL and 92.5 FM congratulates our hometown Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. They won the National AAA Championship with a ninth-inning walk-off home run to win 8-7 over Las Vegas.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 7-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award, earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness. All part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit nimnickchevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They treat you right. Where do you go? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Time now for the tour update with Players Championship Executive Director Lee Smith.
Keep an eye on this one.
Presented by Sunshine Turf, the highest quality artificial turf at affordable prices.
And we sure thank our friends from Sunshine Turf. One more time, 904-383-0243. That's 904-383-0243. Whether it's playgrounds, turf, for any other reason, putting greens in your backyard like I've done, you'll love it. And you can afford it, too. It'll change your life. It'll make it an awful lot of fun. 904-383-0243. All right, one last time we have Lee Smith. I'm kind of bummed out about this. This is bittersweet. It's our last golf report of the year. How are you?
Well, last in this building,
Yeah, that's right.
It's like apropos.
You're leaving it at the right time. That's right. So, hey, how was the trip to the Ryder Cup? I know you went up there with your friends from Optum, which had to be a neat trip up there for you. And what an event. We'll talk about the event in a minute, but it had to be a good trip for you.
Yeah, it's the Ryder Cup from an energy and a pageantry standpoint, I think is the closest thing that golf has to a collegiate tailgate or a professional football game. There's every fan on site is rooting for one of two sides. There's not 144 players, and I'm a Rory fan, I'm a Scotty fan, I'm a you're rooting for this side or that side.
Right.
And when there's only two sides, it creates some passion and some energy and some things maybe across the line. But, from a spectator standpoint, it's a difficult viewing because there's just not a lot of corridors and not a lot of players on the course, and there's a lot of spectators. But from a pageantry and passion and really an energetic atmosphere, it's a really cool event to be a part of.
So what did you make of how it played out? The U.S. didn't play very well the first 2 days, got dominated, played great the last day, but it was too little too late. Jim Furyk was on with me yesterday and talked a little bit about, as the vice captain, that he was really proud of how they battled back through it, but they dug a big hole. What was your take on how it all played out?
Well, I was very proud because I had a $100 wager plus $10 a point that looked really, really bad. So they saved me about $60 on Sunday. So that was good news.
Very proud.
Look, I think a team game obviously fits their side. Anything that is a team sport fits their side, and the individual side fits us. And you can kind of look back in history, and obviously I'm generalizing, but we tend to be very successful in singles when we only have to worry about ourselves, as opposed to the flip side of playing a team game or a 2-man game, better ball, foursomes, those types of things. Overall, it feels like, and I don't know this, Jim would know a heck of a lot more of being in the locker rooms and being a part of the process, but it sure feels like the intentional preparation or the strategic preparation that the European team has is light years ahead of our preparation. And data and strategy and winning the first 6 holes and taking the fact that if you ever get a 2-up lead, you have an 85% chance of winning. So get 2-up anytime. You got an 85%. All of those things feels like it goes into their preparation. It just feels like they're a couple decades ahead of us now.
Right.
And so it'll just be interesting as to what the next steps are is do we try to create continuity? And even though, Keegan admittedly made quite a few mistakes, do you create continuity and keep the same coach around to to hopefully not have the same result, or do you try to pivot and come up with a brand new strategy and kind of start over again?
What would be a couple of your suggestions?
I've always said, Hayes, that I don't know that we necessarily need to just have golfers as being our leaders. I mean, how great would it be to have Roy Williams, a basketball coach, be in the locker room and creating something, or a Tony La Russa, somebody that is a big golf fan, but maybe has been in the locker room in big moments and knows when to flip the switch and pat people on the back, and maybe knows a little better when they need a kick in the rear. Those types of things. I've always thought that maybe we should trend to somebody that does coaching for a living. Yeah. That's what they did, and work through that. I always thought that was, and not maybe as the captain, but a vice captain or a consultant, or some kind of leadership role. You look at like USA Basketball and all of those types of things. It's not necessarily a former player that's coaching the team. It's a coach that's coaching the team, and they have a GM and maybe a former player is a consultant. But I always thought that would be one that I might try. That'd be a little bit different.
Would you consider building the team rather than ranks, points, or whatever? I know some of them are automatic, but would you get, I don't know, Billy Horschel, who's fiery and pissy and competitive? Not that the other ones aren't, but would you get, and I'm just using him as an example, would you get guys like that, Lee, at least a few of them, rather than just whoever's 1 through 12?
Yeah, guys that want to be there.
Yeah,
yeah, and
want to be there and
have a passion to wear the uniform.
Yeah.
Or are worried about the old cliche, the name on the front versus the name on the back. Yeah, I don't look. I think who are our two best players? Probably J.J. Spawn and Cam Young, 2 rookies.
Yeah,
do we pivot to a place where we take more younger guys and take more rookies and those types of things, and people that have passion to be there? I think it's a great opportunity to reinvent the wheel and start over a little bit, for sure.
Would it make sense because I think now if a player that had automatically qualified opted out and said, you know what, I'm qualified, but I don't want to do it, there would be a massive backlash.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would it make sense for the U.S. to say to these guys, look, if you don't want to go, that's fine. We'd rather, if you're not into doing this, we'll support that. We would rather you not participate, even if you've automatically qualified, if your heart isn't into it. And we'll support that decision, because it does seem like there's some guys that it's probably not that high of a priority for them.
Yeah, I just don't know that would ever happen, Hayes, because I think, to your point, the backlash would be like nobody's, even if their heart wasn't in it, I don't know that they would ever admit it, that their heart wasn't in it. But your point taken, in that, in a perfect world, I think that would be an opportunity to where, again, no different than the USA Olympic team, right? I had a long season. I went all the way to the NBA Finals. I'm going to not play in the international competitions this summer, or, whatever it might be. I think there's certainly something there. Yeah.
All right. Well, so we'll certainly talk about that as the years go along. 2 more years away from doing it again. Let's talk about the golf season. What a great golf season. I mean, from 10,000 feet, we'll get into specifics in a minute. But what a great year for professional golf. Didn't you feel that way?
Absolutely. I think it was, you take basically an 8 full months plus the Ryder Cup. And now obviously you've got the FedEx Cup fall season going. But, 8 full months full of, again, from a PGA Tour's lens, a significant amount of momentum. We had great winners, our stars, unlike maybe in the Ryder Cup with USA stars, but our stars on the PGA Tour performed very well. Rory winning multiple times, Scotty winning multiple times. The stars showed up. We had really great weather throughout the season. Fans turned out. The ratings and the engagements were at an all-time high. Our commercial partners and having a fully sponsored schedule for many, many years, are coming out and in droves and wanting to be a part of the PGA Tour. I think it's the future is certainly very bright as we look forward. Unfortunately, we're kind of getting off to a bad start in 26 with having to move the Century or cancel the Century tournament due to the drought and those things in Hawaii. But hopefully that once a decision's made on what's going to happen there, that'll kick off a great season. And then obviously selfishly, the biggest tournament of the year here in mid-March, right here in Ponte Vedra Beach.
What do you think will be some intriguing storylines in 2026, whether it's an up-and-coming player, a player that maybe you think will refine form, or just stories involving the sport?
Yeah, I would probably a cop-out answer, Hayes, but I would say more of the same. I really think that, again, if for listeners, they're watching these golf tournaments this fall, you're going to identify some stars that – just remember their names because they're going to end up winning a signature event in first quarter of next year with the momentum. So I think, hopefully that we see a lot of those young players. You see a lot of these Korn Ferry graduates and the PGA Tour U graduates that we may not know their names now, but a guy like Ben James, who is number one in PGA Tour U, seeing him showing up in regular tour events next year and then qualifying for a major and then qualifying for a signature event. I think the churn of young stars. And then hopefully, we see guys like Jordan Spieth and those that are very, very popular, Billy Horschel getting healthy again, that are really, really popular here, nationally or globally, come back and find some form. Because I can only imagine how difficult it is sitting at home when you're kind of a perennial Ryder Cupper or team event guy like Spieth and watching it at home like that probably, provides a fire to find form again.
Lee Smith was just talking golf. He's the executive director of the Players and our golf analyst one last time for the season. Okay, Brian Rolap is in place. He's the CEO. He made it very clear in his introductory presser that there are going to be changes of significance under his watch. How soon? How many changes that the common public will recognize? What are your expectations?
I think for 26, they'll probably be on the edges and not trying to speak for him. But I think, we'll because you have to do these schedules and a lot of these things so far in advance. He has said publicly that he's not going to put a timeline on creating the product. I think I talked a little. He's really, really laser focused on our product, and feels like if we get the product right, the fans will come, the commercial partners will come, and his three areas of focus for the product are parity, which we do really, really well, simplicity, which is probably something that we're trying to work on to just make it easier to follow and easier to understand. A winner is a winner. And then scarcity is that he wants to make sure that when you tune into an event that this is the biggest of the big when it comes to the PGA Tour. And so he hasn't put a timeline on that, but he has said publicly that I think you could start very, very well seeing a lot of these major changes starting with the 27 season. And to me that's a quick pace. But he wants to move fast and wants to take us further than ever. So we're certainly excited.
What'll be some key storylines for the 2026 Players Championship?
I think one of the keys is moving from 144 players to 120. I mean, that's reducing 24 players is a big deal. And, being able to finish hopefully on weather permitting, hopefully on Thursday and hopefully on Friday. Some of our VIP products we're really investing a significant amount into to continue to grow those products, and then we're going on sale with tickets here in mid-November, early to mid-November. For our advocacy groups, and then to the public in late November and early December. And I'd probably call out one of the biggest is we are going to launch tickets at the exact same price that we launched tickets last year. And as we always tell our local supporters that, get your tickets early, because obviously we dynamically price those tickets, and as they go, the prices go up. So we're launching them at the exact same price, and so we want people to get them early and pick them up and see us out there.
Any course changes, any I mean, not that long ago, we made 12 really short. Not that long ago, we put a tree back in 6. Is there anything like that? Anything?
Yeah, a little bit, Frank. We've, but really, really nuanced. Candidly, we really liked how the golf course played last year. If we just would have kind of avoided some of that rain on Sunday, Monday, it would have played a little firmer than what it did. We've made a couple of mounding adjustments for fan sightlines and fan navigation. Okay. We've made to the right of 14 green and 15 tee. We made a little bit of a mounding adjustment there to where we could ultimately build a hospitality venue if we'd like. Plus, it helps the navigation of the player. We're in a great place there, and it's a great question, Frank. We're in a great place at the stadium course that a lot of these things now are tweaks. Like we think the golf course is right. I mean, you'd be amazed that. We go stand on a tee and we'd like to get this cart path out of the TV's view. Like we're getting pretty picky right now, and I think that's says a lot about where we are.
It's a great spot to be. Don't fix something that's not broken. Please don't fix. I like to call it Frangie Corner, just left of 12 over the water. That's going to stay the same, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Same shade,
absolutely.
Same trees. Okay, you got to have your needs. Hey, my needs are small, but I
may get a sign over there. I'll buy Frangie Corner. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, without a doubt. And obviously it's been great champions, and I think there's a very good chance that we're going to see that again because these stars have now really figured out how to play the stadium course, and they've embraced how you have to play it. And I think that's since that realization came to the elite, I think you've seen the results speak for themselves. So whether that is Scotty or Rory or, I would be surprised again if we're not talking about an elite champion winning the event.
Yeah, we've certainly been pretty lucky to have our last 3 champions be 2 number 1s and a number 2 player in the world. But I think you're exactly right. We pride ourselves on the golf course being extremely democratic, that it's going to reward the person that's playing the best when they get here. And, high, low, left, right, long, short, you name it, the person that's playing the best is going to win the golf tournament. And at the end of the day, usually that's the number 1 player in the world or the number 2 player in the world or a superstar. So the golf course is still going to be fit for that. Obviously, the field is going to be as deep and as strong as any, as you can imagine. Even with 120 players, all the stars will be here, and so we're certainly excited.
Lee, your understanding of the game of golf and ability to explain it to the layman is better than anybody with whom I've ever worked. And you've done a fantastic.
Thank you very much.
And I mean that sincerely. We talk about that all the time. So it's been a great year. I hate that it's ending, but we're going to look up. It's going to be the second week of January. You're going to be back in here. So
well, now if I can only just help your putting.
That's exactly. God bless you if you can. Yeah. That's bigger than the rest of this. Great work. Thank you for being with us all season long.
Absolutely.
We appreciate that. Back in a moment on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The Florida Gators.
Strong tackle to 21, 15-10.
The Gators are ready to rumble and hungry for a side of beef.
He's in. Touchdown, Gators!
Florida, Texas kickoff at 3:30 on Jacksonville's home of Florida Gators football. 1010XL.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party. No, you see, you get $150 in bonus bets after your first $5 bet hits.
Did somebody say hit?
Whoa, Ray Lewis? We were just saying if your bet hits.
Huh. You know I love a good form tackle.
We know, Ray. We know.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New players bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Big Chief Tire makes auto care more affordable with 6-month financing through the CFNA credit card. Frank Frangie here. Plus, get $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. Whether you need new tires, brake service, or general repairs, their expert technicians have you covered. With no interest for 6 months, now's the perfect time to take care of your vehicle. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to apply today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Parker McCullum. Live 2026. Friday and Saturday, March 27th and 28th, St. Augustine Amphitheater. Multi-platinum selling artist Parker McCullum. Special guests Max McNown and Lacey K. Booth. at AXS.com. Parker McCollum Live.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
Plan ahead this year and order your home holiday decorating from Kuhn Flowers. They'll take care of all your Christmas tree setup, lighting, and decorating hassles. This is Frank Frangie. Call on Kuhn Flowers. They'll do it all this fall.
What Major League Baseball teams have never won a World Series?
When you file a claim with Southern Oak Insurance, we schedule one of our trusted vendors to work directly with you, which means a faster claim resolution. Find out more at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
There are 5 Major League Baseball teams that have never won a World Series: Colorado, Milwaukee, San Diego, Seattle, and Tampa Bay.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Stanley Pools Thursday on The Frangie Show. Since 1988, the experts in pools, pavers, screen enclosures, it's Stanley Pools.
We sure appreciate our friends from Stanley Pools, the best in the business, and I've been a proud spokesperson for them for a lot of years now. I appreciate my friends at Stanley Pools and have for the longest time. They build our pool. They treat our pool. You can call them at 904-269-7277. Greg Stanley and his people are really good at it. And look, pool changes your life, man. You have a pool in that backyard, you'll love it. Get a price, get a quote from him. They can also renovate your backyard. They also service my pool, too. I'd be no good at that kind of stuff. So we sure appreciate our friends from Stanley Pool. Boy, it's great having Lee Smith in here. Guy really understands golf as well as anybody I've ever known.
It's been remarkable. It's been so much fun, and can't wait to be back at the Players Championship
I can't either.
in March.
It's a great week, man.
But yeah, we'll blink, and he'll be back in here getting us ready for the golf season and the Players Championship, and the Jaguars will be fighting for home field advantage throughout.
We'll do our picks tomorrow, but some games we probably won't pick. Vandy at Alabama.
That's on the list, baby.
Oh, it is on the list. Okay.
Yeah.
Can Vandy
I'm picking Alabama. Okay. Spoiler alert.
Can Vandy hang around though in that game, in your opinion?
I think they can because they've got the confidence. They beat them last year. And again, this is just stunning. Mark and D-Rock and I were talking about this in O'Halloran at the Jags today. Mark pointed it out. Vandy has 26 graduate seniors on this team. 26. It's incredible. So they've got all this life maturity, but football maturity. And so that's tough because, yeah, they don't have the blue chip recruits. But we've talked about this in basketball with these basketball programs that have stocked rosters with 6-year guys and are beating the 5-star freshmen. Right. You know, it basically is what got John Calipari kind of run out of Kentucky. The model has changed, right. And we haven't really seen that applied to football. But what Clark Lee has done is he's basically said, I'm going to build the oldest team I can build in college football. And obviously it starts with Pavia. But you've got 26 guys that are super seniors. So I think Alabama wins. But I do think it's a good game.
I'll tell you, that's a great point. I was with some people yesterday. It's funny you had that conversation today. I didn't know the Vanderbilt number, but I had this conversation. I was with some guys at lunch yesterday with some guys. We were just talking. They said, "What do you think is the biggest change?" The biggest change to me in football today, basketball too. The biggest change is you now have the playing field is equalized a bit because you have 22 and 23-year-olds playing against 18 and 19-year-olds. And sometimes the 18 and 19-year-olds have better futures, but the 22 and 23-year-olds are better now. Florida won a basketball championship because Walter Clayton Jr., Will Richard, and Elijah Martin were all 23 years old. And they're playing against a bunch of really good freshmen that are 18 and 19. I'll tell you a story about this. And I told these guys a story. When I was really young, literally just out of college, I played in some of these basketball leagues. I was 22, 20, and where all these good players play. And I would watch, and I just playing in these leagues, and you would see there would be one of the 18 or 19-year-old guys that played at FSCJ or JU or somewhere, really good players, okay, really good players. 18-year-old freshmen that just in the summer the AAU circuit wasn't what it was now, so they'd go play in these city leagues in these junior high gyms, right? Well, Hayes, there'd be these 23 or 24-year-old guys, also had been college players, but rather than an 18-year-old star who was at FSU, there'd be this 24-year-old guy who had played at Western Kentucky or Troy. Now, the FSU guy had way more talent. But the 24-year-old guy from Western Kentucky would beat his ass because he was older. He knew how to elbow him. He had that man strength. You know what I mean? So, I saw it in the gym, these junior high gyms, watching these two groups of guys that had been basketball players. So I think you're seeing that at the real world too. To your Vanderbilt point's a great point. I'm guessing Vanderbilt has far fewer players that are going to play in the NFL than some of the teams they play. But because they're 23 years old and they're playing against a 19-year-old who one day will be in the NFL, he might be a better player right now. He certainly might be tougher right now because he's learned how to be tough. And I think that's a great point. That's how this both college baseball too. JJ, in college baseball, we see it all the time. These 23-year-old guys that are still there because they're not going to play pro ball. It really affects college athletics. Big effect on it.
Without a doubt. And so, I think Alabama wins, but it's going to be a good game. This isn't going to be, 45-17 Alabama. I think it's a 4-quarter game, but I do think Alabama will win. But boy, if talk about games you can't lose.
Yeah, you can't lose. That's right.
If you're Kalen DeBoer,
right. That's a game you can't.
I would recommend not going to 0-2 lifetime against Vandy.
That's exactly right. You have the games to win, the games you can't lose, and that's the game you can't lose. Let's take a break. We'll wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be an 8-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Earned by treating customers with courtesy, respect, and fairness, all part of Nimnick's Treating You Right guarantee. Visit NimnickChevy.com to learn more. For 3 generations, Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. I've been buying my vehicles from Nimnick since 1982 because they care about their customers and are invested in our local community, including supporting walk-off charities. And all we're trying to do to help underprivileged kids learn to play baseball. Treating you right, giving back to the community, more choices and better prices for you. So who has put the most years in stands behind a better experience? The answer is simple. Nobody but Nimnick. Visit their showroom off Cassett Avenue or shop 24/7 at NimnickChevy.com. Head to Nimnick today. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Welcome to the Bundle event. Entering now our undisputed tag team champions, the mid-size SUV and the mid-century modern. Together with a State Farm agent, this auto and home duo are a powerful force of savings, service, and customizable coverage. Now, let's get ready to bundle.
Call State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst in St. Augustine at 904-940-9740.
Availability and amount of discounts and savings vary by state.
Hi, it's Frank Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval, and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast orthopedic specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast orthopedic specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast orthopedic specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast orthopedic specialists.
It's time to get up and go to the Jacksonville Fall RV Show, Thursday through Sunday, October 2nd through 5th at the Jacksonville Equestrian Center, with hundreds of RVs on display with lifestyle booths, and register to win $250 gift cards every day. It's Northeast Florida's largest RV show, Thursday through Saturday, 10 to 5, Sunday, 10 to 4. Adults, $10, kids under 12, free. Seniors get half off on Thursday. Military and first responders, half off every day. It's the Jacksonville Fall RV Show.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
Today on the program, we have talked college football with Greg McGarity. He's the executive director of the Gator Bowl College Football Report. We do it every Thursday. And Lee Smith, for the last time this calendar year, was with us, the terrific executive director of the Players Championship and as good a golf analyst that I've ever been around. Kind of put a wrap on a fantastic golf season and a little sneak peek ahead to the golf season next year. We also talked about the whole Billy Napier thing and why I think he's so hell-bent on calling plays. We've talked about on the Lane Kiffin circumstance as well. We have not talked much today. We've done it during the week about FSU Miami. I was going to get to it. I just have it on the notes. Just didn't get to it. So, but here we'll talk more about this tomorrow. We talked about FSU. If Miami beats FSU, and I like I told Joe Zagacki the other day, I don't think anybody can get him. JG, see anybody you think that worries you at the Friday nighter at NC State? Maybe anything worry you on there?
Besides Florida State?
Yeah.
Louisville. Definitely.
Louisville at home. Yeah, Joe said
the
same thing. Yeah, Joe said the same thing. Joe said Louisville at home next week. So, but I don't think either one. I don't think Louisville can get them. I think the biggest chance Miami has to lose the football game the rest of the year is Saturday night. I think that's the biggest chance
until like the ACC title.
Well, that's right. Yeah. Until so, I got to tell you, Miami coming back. If Miami really is back, running out to the smoke, running out with the U. I mean, I kind of liked it that Irvin's back and bring them all back. I'd bring them all back. I think that would be good for college football. I really believe that. I think they can, because of how visible it is when Miami is nasty good. It's easy to not to replicate it, but to re-image it. To show it again. That would be good for college football. Miami being as good as Ohio State and Alabama or Georgia, whoever would be good. Because I'm not convinced yet, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, I think Miami certainly looks strong. I think I like their chances Saturday night in Tallahassee, and then to your point, they're certainly going to be a heavy favorite in their remaining games. I still wonder if they're not going to have a slip up or two along the way. They've still got to prove that they can show up every Saturday or Friday night and play well. So I if they win Saturday, I'm not going to come in here Monday and say, they're going to be 12-0. But certainly it's their most difficult test remaining. I mean, there's no argument there. But I mean, the other thing too, this is an under the radar storyline, but something that is incredibly massive in terms of where this sport is going. So everyone believes that the next big realignment is going to occur around the year 2032, which sounds way out in the distance. But trust me, it is not. And for a program like Miami, you've got to win at an elite level now. You've got to prove to the Big Ten and the SEC that you belong in the next wave of this, that they can't possibly leave you out. And to build something in 2025 to compete for a national championship in 2025 will be worth its weight in gold, because chances are you're going to be able to continue to attract talent, portal talent. Obviously, you'll be strong in high school recruiting with that kind of winning that Cristobal is doing. And that will keep you very relevant and in the spotlight of college football as we get to the next round of things where, I mean, look, your future is uncertain if you're Miami. Your future is uncertain if you're Florida State. Your future is uncertain if you're Notre Dame, although it's easier because you're not connected to a conference. So you just don't know what the SEC and Big Ten, or ultimately what is their vision for college football in 2032. My guess is they are going to want to bring some teams in. So you don't want to have a bad stretch here. You can't afford it because you just don't know how many people they're going to invite to the party. So again, it's an under the radar storyline, but 2032 is going to be here quicker than you think. It is important to seize these years and be at the elite so they can't possibly leave you out of it.
I think this too, JJ. Cristobal, he's the forever coach, right? He's not an NFL guy. He's at his alma mater. He's in his hometown. He's only 55. He wins it this year or puts this thing together. He's there the next 15 years, wouldn't you think?
I think we're getting way too ahead of ourselves. Yeah. I mean, they are 4 games into the season. They haven't won anything. So I would love if Cristobal wins a national title and is there for 15 years. But, I mean, that sounds insane right now.
Well, we're ahead of ourselves for anybody. We're ahead of ourselves.
Ahead of yourself.
We're ahead of ourselves for Ohio State or Alabama, but Georgia. But one of them's going to win it. Here's what I can tell you. Someone's winning the national title,
Those teams have all won it recently.
Yeah, I hear you. That's fair.
Miami hasn't even won an ACC.
Good point.
But to your hypothetical, if Cristobal wins a national title, yes.
Right. He's there forever.
He's not leaving for another college.
He's Kirby Smart.
And he's not leaving for the NFL. He would be
Alabama's
the
not going to go get him.
Yeah, he's Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
He's going to be.
He'll be there until he retires.
He'll be there, and he's only 55.
Right.
And so I mean, this is a guy that
he's super motivated.
Yeah, this is a guy.
Nobody's on the trail like that guy recruiting.
So if he's the right guy, and he's certainly shown he knows how to do the portal. If he's the right guy, he is the right guy for the long haul. That's why listen, the beauty of getting Steve Spurrier back. When Steve Spurrier got there in '90, 2 things: A, you knew looked like he was pretty good at it. B, you knew he was going nowhere. Now you're worried about the NFL, but he wasn't going to another college. He wasn't going. So this is Kirby Smart's the best example of it, because Kirby Smart. What is he still? Is he 50? Is he 50 yet?
He's probably right around there.
Yeah, he's no older. And so he and Muschamp are in there together. I mean, Georgia fans have the best coach in the country who's not going to leave. That's
still 49.
49, yeah. So he's got you talk about having a great. He's still in his 40s. And so he's going nowhere, that dude. So anyway, so it'll be fun to see. All right, tonight John Brody and the 49ers versus Roman Gabriel and the Rams. You don't even know who Roman Gabriel is, do you?
Yeah, I know who Roman Gabriel is. I can't really tell you any moments or give you any
but you know who the name.
But I know.
I feel better that you knew the name. So, all right, Rams and 49ers.
You got to like the Rams tonight. I mean,
you would think.
That would be a bad loss for them at home to lose to basically the junior varsity team that San Francisco is going to throw out there on offense.
Yeah. You would imagine.
Well, it was supposed to be a really good game. I even forgot it was even happening.
Yeah, Rams at home. Well, and again, having just seen the 49ers.
Yeah, you guys will be watching baseball probably.
Yeah, I'll watch both. I'll watch both. But yeah, the Yankees Red Sox could be almost over, so we'll see. Folks, that's our program. Thanks for being part of it. Don't go anywhere. The Jaguar programming comes up right now. Jaguar Happy Hour, Jaguar HQ comes up right now. JP Shadrick and company, they'll have it for you. We're out of here. We'll see you tomorrow. 4 o'clock tomorrow, 4 to 6 to end the week. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.